Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here. Today we're going to go over the strict curl. It's been kind of, rising in popularity a little bit of late, but it's something I've been using. And again, if this is your first time stopping by, I'm Coach Gaglione. This is Gaglione Strength. I've been involved with powerlifting strength coaching for over 14 years, and being that I've been involved mostly with powerlifting, I haven't done a ton of isolation work, specifically a lot of arm work. When I started training, it was for sports performance. I never really kind of got into that aesthetic kind of bodybuilding phase until honestly this year, when I was focused a little bit more on my health. Over the last 5 years, been as heavy as 340 pounds, sitting at 205-ish today. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is bring up my arms, so I've been kind of doing a little bit more, both higher rep but also heavier curling variations, and the strict curl is great. There's also, there's federations, there's contests for it. So we're going to go over some things that I've been playing with in terms of technique. A couple of things, setting up some boxes can be helpful, or some sort of rack, finding a sturdy wall. I'm using a bench here today just for the sake of the video. Getting some wrist wraps and a belt. I'm using a shorter belt today. And we're just going to go over some of the general technique points. I'm not going to kind of go over some the more nitty-gritty competition rules. If you are going to do a curl contest, it's important to check your rule book, and that's really for any powerlifting or strength contest. Understanding what the rules are for the federation and the standard you're going to be held to. But in general, the strict curl is great because it's going to primarily work your bicep, but also your delts as well, because you're going to be going through elbow flexion and shoulder flexion as well. So I like to take an outside grip personally, just more comfortable for my body. But you can certainly take an inside grip as well. You want to start with your arms straight, and then what I like to do is kind of pull it into my body, so keep the barbell closer to my body, just like any lift. Deadlift's a good example. If the further away out it is from your body, the harder it's going to be. So in terms of performance and lifting the most amount of weight possible, keeping that barbell close to your body is almost kind of pulling it up, and then driving again with the elbows and the shoulders to kind of finish toward the throat. So again, I like to set up, this is kind of setup that I've seen kind of C.T. Fletcher do, who was former all-time world record holder. So kind of almost like in a hinge or deadlift position, I'm going to pull myself so my buttocks and shoulders are in contact with the bench at all times. I'm going to pull the barbell up to kind of start the movement. So starting with straight arms, pulling it close to me, and then driving up like this. And I like to reverse the motion. And you can use slow eccentrics if your goal is more for hypertrophy. You can do higher reps more for hypertrophy, but I think anywhere from the 3 to 8 rep range is a good place to start if you're looking for muscle growth. 6 to 12 is good if you're looking more for strength, kind of that 3 to 5 range. And something if you're doing in terms of a competition, you could also do kind of cluster singles, where you're waiting somewhere between 10 to 15 seconds and just doing 1 rep at a time, and you can practice the competition commands. So in a competition setting, you get in position, and once your arms are straight and your body's in contact and you're kind of ready to start, get a curl command. So it'd be curl, down, still in contact with the bench, and then a rack command. So if you're going for strength, you could do something like somewhere between 5 to 10 cluster singles, or if you're just going for more strength and hypertrophy and not a competitive setting, you could do some reps like so. So you don't want to let your buttocks leave the bench. Great exercise to train your biceps as well as secondarily your shoulder joint. So if you're looking for bigger arms and stronger arms, the strict curl is a great way to do that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, check out the links below to support our channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay strong, and I'll see you soon. Hey gang, so we're going to continue our discussion on kind of bigger, stronger arms. Previous video we talked about the strict curl. We're going to talk about some different assistance exercises today. We're going to talk about 2 specifically where you typically use a little bit more weight. So one thing that you could do if you're training for the strict curls, obviously just a regular standing curl. It's going to be a little bit easier because you can lean back. I don't recommend doing a lot of crazy cheek curls, but if you do, we're going to show some variations of the standing curl today with the EZ bar. So here, again, I'm going to have the ability to kind of lean back a little bit to assist the motion here. Again, if I'm going heavier, I can still kind of start to work on my technique and pull the weight up and then in. because it's going to be closer to my body. If I'm doing lighter weight and more for hypertrophy stimulus, I can kind of intentionally kind of bring the weight out in front of me to make the movement a little bit harder. And if I want to kind of just do different ranges of motion, I can go your old school kind of 1.5 reps, like so. I can also kind of do some drag curls where I'm just kind of working that bottom range of motion and keeping that weight close to me. So those are some different variations of the standing curl. And then if you want to kind of implement a little bit of a cheat curl, I like to do a cheat curl but with a slow eccentric to kind of overload. But it's still a controlled cheat where I'm kind of just using my legs to kind of bounce a little bit and then controlling it down. So those are some different standing curl variations that you can do. You could do these anywhere from like 5 to 8 upwards of 12 reps. If you're kind of working for a good combination of strength and hypertrophy, you can take an inside grip or an outside grip, use a straight bar or an easy bar. Easy bar is generally going to be a little bit easier on your wrists, shoulders, and elbows. So again, that's kind of the execution of the standing curl. Again, if you want to get the most out of your biceps and your delts, I can keep the bar a little bit further away from me from a hypertrophy standpoint to make it a little bit more challenging. If I wanted to kind of make it a little bit more emphasize the bottom range of motion, I can kind of bend over and then kind of just do like a drag curl here, work the bottom range of motion, or I could do some 1.5 reps and I could just work the top range of the motion. So those are some standing curl variations you could do. If you guys enjoyed the video, check out the links below to support the channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay strong. We'll see you soon. What's up, guys? Today we're going to continue talking about the curl. We're going to show some assistance exercises. Another great way to train the curl is just doing a seated curl. So it's kind of a little bit of a hybrid. You can do this with or without back support. So I'll show both versions here. So if I'm just doing a regular seated curl with a box, obviously since I'm starting with a little bit of a partial range of motion, you can typically do a good amount of weight here. But again, I'm going to pull the weight into me and back up. So again, since it's a partial range of motion, this is a great way to kind of work that top end of the curl, like so. So I'm working my bicep and also my shoulder secondarily here. So this is a great way to kind of overload that top portion, but not quite as much extreme as like a standing cheat curl. It's a good kind of in-between point. And then if I wanted to, I could do the same thing with back support as well. So I can come here, and this is going to again allow me to not lean back as much and kind of prevent me from leaning back. But this seated curl is a great way to overload the top half portion of the curl. And it's a great assistance exercise for the strict curl. So that's the seated curl. If you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe, check out the links below to support our channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.